doing a new project. We are going to be starting something new. I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow project pan, which is more like a makeup diary style video that I'm going to be posting every single month. And I'm going to do one part of it with my channel members, where we do kind of like the first look together. We also randomize the palette. And then for you at home, you're all going to see all the other like makeup looks that I end up doing with the palette. So what does this mean? It is basically random palette takeover week. So every single month at the end, like the last week of the month, I really want to try to allow myself to randomize a palette in my collection to use for that week. I'm not allowed to use any other eyeshadow palette for that week. It doesn't mean that I have to wear my like eyeshadow for 7 days straight or even 5 days or whatever. If I'm just going to go throughout my week as I normally would. But it means if I am going to wear eyeshadow, I'm going to go into that palette that has taken over the week. This is something I cooked up in my head. Obviously, people do makeup diaries all the time. They do a palette a week style challenges and things like that. This is something that I wanted to do for myself because I've been talking about, you know, neglecting my eyeshadow palettes, neglecting shades in palettes where I'm just using 1 or 2 shades. And this is gonna just free me from having that feeling of having to go into other palettes because they're in projects. It might go the other way where I'm like, oh damn, now I need to go into this palette, but I really want to go into that palette. It might do the opposite, who knows? But this is episode 1 and we're going to do this every single month. So hopefully you enjoy it. I know I'm going to personally enjoy it. This is also the first time that I'm filming it. So I don't know the best way to go about filming a makeup diaries. Do you want to see the get ready with me all the time? Do you just want to like a recap, like a little bit of a vlog? I'm going to try to be a little bit more casual with this because A, I don't know what I'm doing, and B, you know, we're just trying to have some fun here. Okay, so what happened this morning is I try to do a chatty Monday get ready with me with my channel members. I try to do it every Monday. It doesn't happen every Monday, but I try to do it every Monday. So this morning we did one and we randomized a palette. It is not a palette that has been ultimately neglected in my collection, but it is huge. Like the palette is absolutely enormous. And so I'm not mad that it was picked. And obviously I'm wearing it today. Look, so this is the look that we have. Can you guess what palette it is? Can you guess? Just write in the comments before you, don't cheat, write in the comments, which palette do you think this is? If you know my collection, obviously you don't know my collection, you have no idea, right? So it is not a new palette by any means. I don't have that many new palettes, but yeah, this one was picked. Can you believe it? The Earthy. The Earthy from Beauty Bay was picked as my first palette takeover video. So I'm excited. I was a little bummed out because I'm like, this one again? I mean, this one is always picked for whatever reason, but I do have 2 Pan Those eyeshadow shades that are in this palette. So actually it's really helpful because I kind of need to get going on those. I haven't really been going into them and I did go into one of them today. So really, really happy about that. But yeah, so the Earthy from Beauty Bay was picked. What I ended up going into today, just a little bit of a recap, I went into Herd in the outer corner of my eye and I just like kept blending that a little bit, but not too much. I didn't buff it out that much. I went into Folklore, which I don't think I've ever been into, and I put that sort of towards the outer V, but still also kind of in the middle of my lid. And then I didn't know what I was doing, so I did my makeup, and then I went into Palm, which is one of my Pan Those eyeshadows, and this is this lovely shade that we have here that kind of blends in to those other shades that I went into. And then I was like, no, I'm not done. So then I went into Sketch in my lower lash line for the Pop of Mint. And I think that's it that I did on my eyes. So I like to keep my eyes pretty basic. Oh, and then here I have a tiny bit of Herd as well. So that's all I did for today's makeup look. And obviously I did the rest of my makeup and whatever. And for this week, I guess we'll see what I'm gonna do with this palette. Obviously, I'm gonna try to do like more neutral palettes. Maybe I'll even do like a red look. I don't know. There is quite a lot you can do, but it also is massively green. So But like I said, I have 2 Pandos eyeshadows in there, so it would be really stupid of me not to get use out of those shades while I have the palette takeover week happening. But yeah, this is, I kind of cooked this idea. I've been wanting to do makeup diary videos for a while, but I just haven't known how to do it that isn't a structured way that makes sense for me. And I feel like this makes sense for me. It also just allows me to just use a palette for a week. So it's a, palette week, palette, 1 week palette, and then also makeup diaries. So whatever. And there's also randomness to it because it was picked randomly. So anyway, just wanted to start off this video by saying that, and I guess we'll get through the week. Now, I did mention this to my members, and I'm going to mention it obviously here, and maybe I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, who knows? But if I only wear my makeup like 2 times that week, that's fine. I'm not going to force myself to wear more makeup than I necessarily want to or need to in the week just because I'm doing this video. It's just, if I'm going to be wearing makeup, I'm going to use, eyeshadow, I'm going to be using that palette. It does mean for a whole week, every single month, I'm neglecting everything else in terms of eyeshadow palettes, but then that should give me a kick up the backside to get a move on, like using those palettes the first 3 weeks of the month, right? So anyway, I've also done a 2026 calendar for myself of a filming schedule, so I'm going to try to get a little bit more organized. I haven't been very organized very much the last 9 months, I would say. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm trying to get organized. So this is the start of the random palette takeover, and I'm very excited for this little challenge, and I hope that I just carry on and doing it, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, you should have a video every single month of me having a makeup diaries, and yeah, I'm excited. So anyway, I'll catch you in my next look. Bye! Hey guys, so we had another crazy stormy night last night. We had some flooding in the house, so it's been quite a morning, and there's still quite a lot of wind as well. But I'm gonna do my makeup because I'm gonna film my skincare inventory. So we are obviously going into our palette takeover, which is the Earthy, and I was thinking yesterday, I don't really want to do a green look, so I was thinking we either go red or really burnt orange. I think I'm gonna do a burnt orange smoked out look. But yeah, I'm just gonna do my makeup, and you're in a different angle just because I want this to seem a little different, like a different style video. So I have some fake lighting because it is so dark, and we also have a shutter closed because all the shutters were smashing the house in last night. So we're not having fun, but I know that the weather is kind of crazy everywhere. So anyway, hope everyone is safe. And yeah, let me do my makeup. Makeup look, nice and easy, nothing too crazy. I didn't need to do anything crazy today, but yeah, I'm liking it. I wanted to go warm tone since outside is looking like this. Look how dark that is. That is just horrendous. So yeah, this is day 2, and hopefully we can do something different tomorrow. Loving the lips too. Side note, I'll speak about this at some point because I do need to do my Shop My Stash very soon. I've been going into all of these liquid lipsticks that I got over Christmas in that C Beauty box from my mom, and I was thinking I was gonna hate them. They all smell divine. This one smells like watermelon, kind of gives off watermelon vibes, and they are lovely, lovely liquid lipsticks. They are so soft and weightless, and yeah, I have no complaints. So when I got all those over Christmas, I thought, okay, I'm going to probably declutter all of these. I'm actually going to keep all of them because I think I've tried all of them now. So oopsies. Anyway, I'll catch you for day 3. Bye. It's not working, baby. I'm sorry. It's not working, baby. I'm sorry. It's not working, honey. Hey guys, I am going to conclude this video. It has been a little bit of a week. It has been a week. So the video idea I had in mind was obviously makeup diaries, and I thought I was going to be doing my makeup a lot more this week. But if you saw my community post, I did lose power, or we lost power, and we also lost water for a few days. And so it's been a little bit of a nightmare in terms of filming. Like, it just hasn't been on my mind, and I haven't literally been able to. And even when we got power back, we didn't have water. So like, why I'm gonna go on camera and like not be washed? No, it's not gonna happen. So regardless of that, I still want to do like a conclusion of the first time I'm doing like a makeup diary style video. This one I feel like is a little bit with a twist as well, and obviously it's my first installment. It hasn't gone the way I wanted to go. Only did 3 looks, but what I think will be fun to do for these videos and these palettes that are randomly picked is I rate them out of creativity, because I feel like I've lacked it this week. I have lacked creativity with the Earthy from Beauty Bay. I don't know if it's just because it's a palette that I have actually used quite a lot, even though it's a £42 palette. I do feel like, you know, I know the shades that I like in here. There are some shades though that I went into this week that were really nice, like the Folklore I really enjoyed. And I think also just dipping my hands in more of the neutral shades, because I've been focusing on this palette and focusing on the green shades so much that I tend to ignore the neutrals, and the neutrals in here are actually really, really stunning. I also have obviously 2 shades in my pan those eyeshadows, which I'm trying to hit pan on, and I have not. This would have been the perfect week. I think I'm close to this one, so maybe I can keep going into that one this next week before my pan those eyeshadows update. But in terms of creativity, I just didn't really feel it this week, and I did think in my mind when this was picked, I'll do a red look, but I never ended up doing one. I think I probably would have had I not had the week that we had. But we did, so I didn't end up doing that. And there was one day when I actually did go, I went to the dentist twice last week before everything was going on. And one of the days I didn't even wear eyeshadow. I wore makeup, but I was like, I just don't feel like wearing eyeshadow. And I think it's because I wasn't heavily inspired by this one. I'm rushing because the sun is going down, so the lighting's getting a little weird. But anyway, I think out of creativity, what I'm gonna do moving forward with whichever palette is picked, I will rate them out of 5. 5 obviously being super creative, and then obviously 1 being very lackluster. Because I did manage to do 3 looks, which I didn't think I would be able to do. Was it 3 looks? I hope it was. I keep saying 3 in my mind. I haven't edited this video yet as I'm speaking, so maybe it was just 2. I'm gonna rate it a 2. There are so many shades in here, and I was kind of cut off midweek and not really like wanting to wear makeup, wanting to film or anything like that. So I could have been probably a little bit more creative towards the end of the week, but I didn't end up doing that for obvious reasons. And I think when I did go into it for the looks that I didn't feel that heavily inspired because I didn't really want to do green. And it's a green palette. So yeah, it's gonna get a 2 out of 5 in terms of creativity. I think what would be really fun with this challenge that I've set myself, and I will be doing it next month, it's gonna be a monthly thing. I can't do it more than that just simply because then I would neglect every other project that I have. But it will be a monthly installment that I do. Like I said, I film it the last week of the month, and then obviously you see it the first week of the month. I'm still gonna do random palettes. Obviously, if the Earthy is picked again, I'm not gonna do that. So we will veto any palette that's already been rolled into the project over time. And it would be really nice to be able to get use out of all of my palettes if I can. So obviously that's gonna, because I'm doing it once a month and I have 70 something palettes, it's going to not be just a year-long project. This is like a project. We'll see how long I get to, we'll see how long I can manage and sustain it, but I really enjoy the idea of it, so I think I'm going to continue it, and hopefully my editing is a little bit better in the next one, and I have a little bit more of inspiration. So yeah, what I will do, whichever palette is picked next time, and at the end of the video, like I've done today, I will just rate it out of creativity. I don't necessarily feel like I need to rate it in terms of I don't like this or not, because for the most part, I like all the palettes in my collection. There's a few palettes that potentially I like more than, I definitely like more than others, and there's some that I really like, or I did like, and then maybe I don't like them as much anymore. Maybe the formula is changing or my preference has changed, but that's neither here nor there. I think for this video project, I want to feel inspired. I have felt so uninspired with makeup in so long now. I want to be inspired again. I want to find the joy in it, and this gives me an outlet for that. So I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping it works. Like, I was a little bit inspired today. I hadn't worn makeup like all weekend, and it is Monday today, the 2nd of February, as I'm filming this. So you'll see this at the end of the week. Like the work week, so I'm probably post it Friday. Hopefully you enjoy it. I hope you had a good week too. And I know that a lot of people are having crazy weather, so hopefully everyone is okay and doing well. And yeah, so I think for this installment, I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't speak while I was doing the makeup either, so maybe let me know if you would prefer to have a longer video. I don't think this video is going to be super long, but also it's my first one. I didn't really know how it was going to end up, so I'm sure I can change it as we go, depending on what you guys prefer. If you just want like a voiceover music or whatever, or you actually want me to sit down and talk to you every time I do my makeup. It might not be realistic, I'm just saying that. All right, well anyway, thank you so much for my first installment of the Palette Takeover Makeup Diaries video. Hopefully everyone is doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!